Hi everyone, welcome back to the Spring Security tutorial. This is the continuation of the previous video. In case if you missed the previous video, the link will be given in the description section of this video. Make sure to watch the previous video before proceeding with this video. Now let's come back to the today's video. In this video, we're going to learn how to encode the password. Earlier, we used to save the password in a plain text inside the database. Now we're going to encode that password and we're going to store it to the database. Let's see the development steps. So in order to encrypt the password, we're going to use one of the class which is provided by the Spring Security, which is bcrypt password encoder. Inside the mySecurityConfig class, we're going to create an instance of the bcrypt password encoder. Earlier, we used to return the instance of the NoOp password encoder. Now we're going to replace that with the bcrypt password encoder. This will help us to encode the password. The next step is to create a model class for register API. We're going to create a model class which contains the properties such as email and password. We will add the data annotation from the Lombok. And the last step is to create a REST endpoint for register API. Inside the home controller, we're going to create a new API which is register, the URI which is register. This will be of post mapping. Sorry about that. I forgot to change this to post mapping. This will be a post mapping and we will create a method register. This will take the user model as a parameter. We will make use of the request body to bind the HTTP request body to this user model bean. Inside this, we will create an instance of the user entity and we will set the email and password. While setting the password, we are going to encode the password. So for that, we are going to auto wire the password encoder. And we will call the encode method on the password encoder and we will pass the plain text. So this will convert that plain password into encoded format. And finally, we will save the entity to the database. These are the development steps. Let's jump to the STS IDE and write a code for this. Alright, I'm inside the STS IDE. So the first step is to create a model class. So inside the entity, we will create the new entity class, the model class. So what I'll do is I'm going to create a new package. Let's call this model, and inside this model package, let's create a new class. I'm going to call this user model, and we're going to create a private fields, the email and password. Private string email, private string password. We will add the Lombok annotation which is data. Let's save the file. The second step is to create an instance of the bcrypt password encoder. So inside the configuration file, we are going to return the instance of the bcrypt password encoder. So let's get rid of this NoOp password encoder. Return new bcrypt password encoder. This is the class which will help us to encode the password. Let's save the file. I'm going to modify this configure method as well. HTTP dot, we're going to first disable the CSRF dot disable. Ant matchers, we're going to permit the register API. Of course, we haven't this API in our application. We're going to create that in just a bit. We're going to permit this URI for all the users, and we're going to make use of dot any request that should be authenticated and HTTP basic. So inside the controller class, we have this home controller, and I'm going to get rid of this request mapping at the class level, and I will change this to register. This is a public URL, anyone can access this. I will change this to post mapping, and we're going to receive the user model. Let's make use of the request body. Let's bind this to user model. Let's call this user model. Inside this, we actually return the user entity, and inside this let's create an instance of the user entity. And we need to encode the password. So let's set the email first. New user dot set email, user model dot get email, and we will set the password. New user dot set password. So in order to encode the password, we need to auto-wire the password encoder. Private password encoder. Let's call this password encoder and add the auto-wired annotation. And inside this, let's make use of this password encoder to call the encode method. This will take the plain text. So let's get the password from the user model. So this password encode will encode the password, and we need to save to the database. So for that we need the user repositories. So let's auto-wire the user repository. Let's add the annotation, and we will make use of this user repository to call this save method. To this we will pass the user entity, which is new user, and we will return this. Okay, so let's save the file, and we need to test the API. First of all, let's go to the database. Let me refresh this. Inside the users table, we do not have any records. I have deleted the earlier records. Now let's go back to the Postman and let's change this to post localhost /8080/register. This is the public API. Anyone can access this. Choose body, go to raw and select JSON, and we need to provide the email and password. Email, let's say bhushan@gmail.com, and password, let's set this to 12345. The moment we click on this send, we will get the data back, and you can see the password has been encoded. Let's look at the database. It is saved in the database as an encoded password. But if you look at the response, we are returning the password to the client. This we should never do that. So let's go ahead and hide this password. Let's go to the STS and open the user entity. For the password field, we are going to add the JSON ignore annotation. So what this will do is, this is going to ignore the password while we are sending it back to the client. Whenever we are binding the JSON property to this file, it is going to ignore that value. So let's save this. Let's go to the Postman and let's try for one more record. This is bharat@gmail.com. The moment we click on this send, we will get only the ID and email back in the response. Perfect. If you go to the database, we have the record stored into the database. Now we need to test our API. While testing the APIs, we need to pass the plain password, and it should match with the encrypted password. Alright, let's go to the Postman and choose get method, localhost /8080/dashboard. We have this API. This is a protected API, and the moment you click on this send, we will get unauthorized because we haven't provided the username and password. If you go to the authorization, inside this basic auth, provide bhushan@gmail.com, and the password is 12345. We are giving the password in a plain text. Let's see what will happen. The moment we click on this send, we will get the data back. So now our password, the plain password, is comparing with the encrypted password, and if it matches, it will return the data back. Alright, that's it for this video. In the next video, we're going to create a login API. I'll see you in the next video.